Brethren, I wanted to share with you all of the work that's been going on in the background with the Recruitment and Retention Forum. So this has been my first opportunity to explain and show you the work that we've been able to produce so far in very, very challenging circumstances. So with the support of the Grand Primo, I took the decision to move forward with the forum, despite these unprecedented times that we've encountered since I got the permission off March Grand Lodge to proceed with the forum. So I've been able to secure Microsoft 365 accounts for the forum members, and we've set them all up with their own dedicated email addresses, as well as the dedicated recruitment email address, which is recruitment@reoble.org.uk, and that's the one that I was able to give you a more recent update in the last video that I've done. So using applications such as Microsoft Teams, we've been able to begin the scoping out exercise that's helped shape the work stream for our forum members. This meant research, lots of research. We've looked in by having lots of conversations using video methods and just texting each other in Microsoft Teams. We've done a lot of communication through various different ways. And that was to determine what our purpose was in terms of what a good outcome would look like and what were we hoping to achieve. So when we've done all of that, sitting on top of the whole project, I set out an initial brief to the team, and I said, with all of that done, we now need to look at how we can make the Buffaloes better whilst keeping in the spirit of true Buffaloism. That's something that's really important to me. So we prioritise our resources that we have available to us on recruitment. So we can say that we've completed that first phase now, and this video is also to launch internally and show and tell exactly what our recruitment campaign is going to look like. So the whole idea of this was to create a good social media presence. That's the foundation that we're building this recruitment campaign on. And with that strong foundation, it would have the capacity to grow using the magic of social media. So social media and the way that all of that networking takes place requires minimal effort, but you can get an awful lot of gain from that as well. So we decided to let technology work for the Grand Lodge of England in a way that it's never worked before. It's never been put to work in this fashion. So by using the internet-based social media sites, we can help build up our presence with potential members by connecting with their friends and family and colleagues. Social networking can also have a social purpose as well. So with potential members also seeing the benefits of what it would be like to join the Buffs. That depends on potential members seeing the Buffs in a good light. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as I reveal the logo and a little bit more about our strategy. So the logo has been designed to have the maximum impact on new members. So there's a couple of things I've got to stress. It's not our intention to rebrand the Grand Lodge of England. The Recruitment and Retention Forum have been working outside of the management committee with members who haven't been on management committee before and haven't had any committee experience. Just normal Buffs, like you and I, who attend the lodge and want to try and make the Buffaloes better. So the current logo is just for this current campaign. And the plan is to run this campaign until around about December 2021. And there's a reason for that. Once we get to around about June of 2021, we'll have developed this current campaign up to a point where we'll stop developing the current campaign. And we'll start setting up the new campaign, which will begin on the 1st of January in 2022. The difference being The new campaign will be better as it goes forward because we'll have learned from the lessons of the things that didn't quite go as planned for this particular campaign. And it's an opportunity for us to take stock, refresh our ideas, and make sure that the angle we're coming from is still current and it's still connecting with the right types of people. So I know many of you in your provinces and lodges will have been involved either directly or indirectly with your own local recruitment ideas. You should still continue with that. This forum's work has been set up to work on a national and international level, and that's going to allow you in your local level to tap into this resource to maximise the impact of any recruitment ideas or kind of initiatives that you might have running in your area. So I'd like to thank everyone as well, those who offered to play an active part in this recruitment forum, and apologise to those people who I simply had to say thanks for your offer of help, but unfortunately, because of the current circumstances, I've got to set this up in a way where it needs a small nucleus of people to start the ball rolling. That's not to say that you can't play a more active part as this begins to roll out, and we can move into the development stage now. So, you know, it's not going to remain just a small group of people. We do hope to expand it, but I'm trying to get through this whole video with talking about the circumstances that we find ourselves in and just focusing on the recruitment and retention. But the reasons are obvious why we're working with a small group on a particular networking group where we can share all of our ideas and communicate effectively. So what was I up to? I was busy thanking everyone who offered for that help. But most of all, I would like to thank the members of the Recruitment and Retention Forum for their excellent efforts in extremely challenging times, with some really good points of view that wasn't necessarily met with the same enthusiasm with the rest of the team. We've managed to have those conversations, those difficult conversations, and refine our ideas to the point where we really believe we've got something which is a viable recruitment campaign and we're ready to present to the members. Now, I must stress when I say we're presenting this to the membership, we have not designed this to appeal to people who are members of the REOB, in particular the Grand Lodge of England. The language that we will use when we're speaking to people who are not members of the Buffs will be slightly different to the language that we would use if we were talking to people who are in the Buffs. You'll notice the language I'm using now is because I'm speaking to members of the Buffs, in particular the Grand Lodge of England. So you'll see there, I've used the REOB GLE seal. That's instantly recognisable to people who are members of the Buffs. But if you weren't a member of the Buffs, it means nothing to you. So bear that in mind. I tasked the forum to create our very own Ronseal logo, a one that does exactly what it says on the tin. So if you think about someone who's not a member of the Buffs, they may look at our logo and within 3 seconds they would have an idea of what it's about, what the logo is trying to say. So we went to work with trying to encapsulate the things that happen within our minor lodge. The first place a new member of our organisation would find themselves at that threshold of buffalism. And when they step over that threshold, what kind of things can they expect to find? I hope you will agree, after a bit of to and fro, there was 3 outright winners. And that was fundraising. We do a lot of fundraising within our lodges. We have fun. And we've also made some excellent friendships. And those were the 3 words that we thought we would run with in terms of speaking to someone who's not a member of the organisation. And they may only have heard of the Buffs before. So we have decided to use this as the keystone of our current campaign. It keeps our logo simple whilst telling people about the things that we do. And like I said, within a very short period of time of seeing it. We've also designed it so that it would have the maximum impact on social media. For example, a profile picture with our logo on that. So you'll see on social media as of Friday morning when you're watching this video that there's a presence on various social media sites. You'll see the logo on the left, which I hope you'll agree is quite a simple logo, and it says everything about our organisation. That we are buffs, symbolised by the buffalo's head. We do fundraising, fun and friendship. And if you want to do those things, then join the buffs. And that's our simple logo. There has been a lot of thought gone into this, and that in itself basically says what we do, what we're about, and it also fits nice as a social media profile picture. So I want to stick with the social media and profile picture train of thought for the time being. I've been busy and I've developed a Facebook frame that you will be able to download. You'll see it on my profile picture also. You'll be able to download that and put it on your profile picture. And around that picture, it will say that you're into fundraising, fun and friendship. And it'll encourage people to join the buffs. But in the social media space, we've got to be a bit smart when it comes to networking, and we've got to start using hashtags, which is where that comes from over on my other side there. Hashtag join the buffs is the phrase that we've used, and we would like you to use whenever you're posting something uplifting and positive about the good work that happens with regards to anything related to the REOB. We've got a special edition coming out in the journal, and that'll be coming the spring edition of the journal for this year. We've got a really big part of that dedicated to the Recruitment and Retention Forum. And I've set out a little bit more detail in there in the kind of things that you could be thinking about doing within your minor lodge environment and at provincial Grand Lodge level. But yourself, as a member of the organisation, of the order, if you were to start posting your pictures on our social media platforms that we have, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and Tumblr, you'll see that we can start linking all of these good stories together using our hashtag join the buffs. That will get out of the closed groups that we have within Facebook and Twitter and the other social media sites where we talk about stuff that is important to us who are already members of the organisation. It'll take our message out and it'll start mixing with the general public at large. Even better, if you do some fundraising event in your local area, when you put your post into one of these social media platforms, if you could add in the comments, hashtag join the buffs, and then follow that with other hashtags that might be of your local community, Facebook or Instagram groups, even your local news, just simply putting the hashtag BBC Radio Newcastle, for example, will increase the amount of exposure that your post gets, and it will take it to various other platforms, and other people will stumble across it. They may like it, and then all of a sudden it starts popping up on their news feed. I don't want to go too technical, other than to say, if you're posting something which shows the buffs in a good light, please add hashtag join the buffs in them comments. Please do not use the hashtag in a negative way. I've already seen examples where members have been having discussions about emotive subjects and it doesn't show us in a good light. Please have those discussions on video conferencing on the closed sites. But I want you to think about the simple rules that Brother Mark Dench and the admins have for I'm in the RUOB. It's a public facing site. The public do not need to know what goes on inside of a lodge room. They can learn about that if they decide to come and join us. And all of those issues that are important to all of us that are members, you can trust me if I was to say to you, work is going on behind the scenes, because like you, we're all members of the Grand Lodge of England and we want those matters resolving as soon as possible. We are working on that. And I only say that because I'm asking you to try and keep the message that we going to be customer facing, if you like, in terms of the potential new recruits and the people who might influence that man's decision to decide to join the buffs. We need to show ourselves in the best light possible, which will enable us as a Grand Lodge of England to put our best foot forward. So next time somebody asks you, who are the buffs? What do they do? It would be great if your message was a simple one and you said we do fundraising, fun and friendship. Keeping that message as simple as that, consistent as that, it just keeps a nice clear message to prospective members, but not only to a prospective member, as I just said previously, to the person whom we influence their decision to request a Form 14 and become a member of the buffs. As members of the buffs, we're within touching distance of 200 years of existence. So please don't think I've tried to eradicate our traditions by not mentioning the Royal Antediluvian Order of Buffaloes. Please don't think I'm trying to eradicate our history by not drawing attention to the fact that we are an ancient and honourable order. Far from it. I'm drawing our attention to our three key unique selling points that'll let somebody join us for the right reasons. And then when they're on the journey as a brother through their various degrees and they learn the ways of the lodge that they've just joined, they can learn all of the degrees and all of that information when they're within our ranks. So I hope you will agree that we've tried to keep this as simple as possible and not call ourselves the RUOB or the GLE, and just keep it nice and simple as being called the buffs, who do fundraising, fun and friendship. We've done that for over 200 years. We've done perpetual fundraising, fun and friendship activities. And that next phase for making the Buffaloes better is going to take equally as much as hard work as what's gone on in the previous 200 years. So let's start preparing ourselves as a lodge for how you may start to receive members. And when I say that, it's because very soon, as lodge members, as a worthy Primo, as a city secretary, you're going to have to start seriously thinking about how you stand your lodge up. How will social distancing affect your venue? Have you spoke to your landlord about when or how the buffs may be able to convene in their premises? Is it time where you need to start thinking about different premises in order to get all of your members in one room? Interesting things to think about. But you must start thinking about how you're going to stand your lodge up and what you're going to make your lodge look like in the coming months. Certainly some food for thought. The most simplest message I could say to somebody who was thinking about joining the buffs, without going into too much jargon, but giving them a simple answer as to what we do and how we do it, would be to say the buffs was formed by a group of actors in London in around about 1822. And we've had some quite high-profile members over the years. We've had a former Prime Minister, a Lord Chief of Justice. We've even had a famous radio personality. And we've been out there doing good things for great causes in the background for almost 200 years. For almost 200 years, we've raised millions of pounds for some magnificent causes, supporting members and families of our organisation well before there was a welfare state. We've gone beyond that. We've provided ambulances in the front line for the Great War, when it was rumoured that 10% of all the men in this country were members of the Buffs. You know, even now in this modern day era of buffing, we send children to Cyprus every year for a holiday of a lifetime by working with our brethren who are over in Cyprus, and the amazing work they do. More recently, we're engaged in a national project to raise money for Alzheimer's Research UK. And that's where our attentions are focused on a national level, certainly for the time being. We have some really good time. We have some good fun. Typically the Buffs will meet in a back room of a local pub, and once converted, albeit temporarily, that room becomes our lodge. And this is where men are able to just simply have some fun, let off a little bit of steam, and even discuss matters that might even help them out with their own mental well-being. So, you know, as a worthy Primo as well in your lodge, if people are coming in with the promise of having a bit of fun, we've got to look at how we can make that happen. Remember, your indicator board's got two sides. Yeah, you can have a bit of liberty all if you want to hear some horrible singing or listen to some rubbish jokes. But the other side can be as much fun as well when we have a bit of strict lodge. I mean, I'm sure we can all raise a smile at some of the ridiculous charges that we've heard and we've had to try and defend ourselves on fiercely because we don't want to part with 1 pence. So, you know, it's worth remembering. It's time to put the fun into the bus where possible. By all means, have your discussions about the emotive subjects. Get that done out the way, box it off, and then remember why you joined the bus, and you know, and that you want to go home after you've had a good meeting and start looking forward to your next one. With that comes the friendship. So, you know, men's mental well-being is something that we don't like to talk about as blokes, but there's a space within a lodge where brothers can let off, you know, not so much a bit of steam, but just let off the weight off their mind. You know, let them offload and have a chat with their mates, knowing that they won't be judged and that they can have someone who will listen to them. Who knows? They might even need assistance that they're a bit too proud to ask for. I know that many people, just like me, have built up some brilliant friendships in this organisation. And again, you know, I'll be eternally grateful for the strong bonds of friendship that I've made while I've been a member of the Buffs. You know, it's just been brilliant. And we need to capitalise on that. The fact that we're a male-only organisation, it doesn't have to be a negative. It is a positive in terms of speaking to people in the outside world. Because if you're a man and you want to have fun while you're raising some money for some reasonable good causes, and you want to do that and create some special bonds of friendship, that's the kind of thing that we need to offer to new members when they come to your lodge. So it does mean reevaluating how you may do things in your lodge. Yeah, it may mean winding the clock back and making sure you've got all your collars out, and you start making sure you have a bit of fun, and you even go and maybe do a bit of visiting. And I know we're in a pandemic. There you go, I've said it. We're in a pandemic. I know we're going to have to do things differently, but you're in full control of that in your minor lodge. I sincerely hope that this recruitment campaign is going to have people wanting to join your lodge. I sincerely hope that the promise that I will give to them of fundraising, fun and friendship is continued throughout their journey when they join this brilliant order. So, in terms of helping you, if you do decide to start your own recruitment campaign at your local level, I've also been in talks with brother Murray Cable from the Buttercross Lodge down in Oxford, who set up his own marketing business where he's making shirts, printing, etc. He can do anything you want. Let's think of him as our Arthur Daly of the marketing world. If you want to get some banners made to put up outside of the community centre or premises where your lodge meets, brother Murray's your man. He'll help you produce something with the logos on and a message, a personalised message, whatever. I only ask that you keep the current theme of fundraising, fun and friendship. He'll help you through a various range of his products that he has on offer to get t-shirts, from cheaper t-shirts if you want to get your local scout organisation dressed up in a t-shirt for a nice photograph to post on social media when you're giving them their check with a lovely hashtag join the buffs. That's the kind of stuff we're talking about. Get them a cheap t-shirt to put it on, take the photograph, and then that's fine, it's done its job. To the top end where you can get some good quality t-shirts that you might want to wear all the time. So already I've had somebody contact me, they're making inquiries with Brother Murray. They're going to do some litter picking on their local beach. So they want some high-vis jackets with our new Recruitment and Retention logo on there. I've also had people ask me about going on to a local radio station, and they've asked me for some information I could give them, so I've provided them with a press release as well. Once more, the language is being designed to speak to people who are not members of the organisation in the most simplest possible format. So there we are. I'm just looking at my post-it notes around my screen just to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. I look forward to seeing your positive posts coming up on our social media platforms. They don't have to be current, but they do have to have the hashtag join the buffs. I don't anticipate that we'll go viral, but I do anticipate that we will be able to build on the magic of social media and the way that social media networking works. I'm confident we'll be able to build on that, and we'll be able to get our presence out there so we're more customer facing, for want of a better phrase, and our profile in the wider world is expanded. So with that, I'm going to sign off now, brethren, and I wish you every success. And we're here to support you. The Recruitment and Retention campaign are here to support you when you want to stand up your recruitment campaign. If you want to increase your social media presence in your local area, speak to me, speak to any one of the guys. We've had one member of the Recruitment and Retention Forum took some time out to do a diploma in social media networking activities. So we do have some subject matter experts amongst our ranks who learnt that in their own time to be in a position to help you out so you can get a maximum return with minimal effort. So I wish you well in your endeavours as you prepare to stand your lodge up, and in particular you look to create your own recruitment and retention campaign. We're here to support you all the way. But please, if you can't post and be kind, please don't post at all. Let's post positive, let's show the buffs in a good light, and let's see if we can get some more people to join the buffs, and let's make the Buffaloes better. Thanks very much for listening.